Alright YouTubers, welcome back to another video here on the channel today. I'm in town today. I'm at my girlfriend's apartment and it's kind of noisy because I am in the city. So hopefully we have good audio. I've got a train in the background, all kinds of stuff going on. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was ferrocerium rods versus cigarette lighters and why I think they're a good combination, but you shouldn't rely on a ferro rod for a one-tool option. And as an example of that, if you have not seen Alone Season 7, this is not the video for you because there will be a spoiler. So, if you want to click off the video now is your opportunity to do that, because I will spoil one contestant for you in this video. Alright, if you're still here, thanks for watching, and we'll continue. Okay, Alone Season 7. There was a bushcrafter on, his name was Sean Helton, and Alone contestants are given a choice between either a ferrocerium rod or a flint and steel, okay? Sean, as most people do, chose a ferrocerium rod. He was on the show, he was doing great, okay? 10 days in, everything was going his way, and he was looking forward to trying to make the long haul, which, if you're not familiar, Season 7, you have to stay 100 days. If you stay 100 days and you're the last man standing, or woman standing, you win $1 million, okay? Well, Sean chose a ferro rod, like I said. Now, what happened was Sean went on a day hike, like a scouting trip, and he walked a long way, okay? And then he got himself back to camp and realized he needed to remake his fire. It was out, like completely out. So he went to get his ferrocerium rod and realized he no longer had it, okay? He tore his camp apart, went through all of his equipment, went through everything, every pouch, every pocket, everything, and it just wasn't there. Okay, now because Season 7 is done in Arctic conditions, cold weather coming on, winter coming, snow, lots of snow, it's impossible to do without fire. Okay, now, number one, he should have kept better track of his one fire starting tool. And of course, he's fully aware. He knows that he made a mistake by not controlling that tool, knowing where it was at all times. Chances are it might have fell out of his pocket on the hike. Despite the fact that he was absolutely exhausted when he got back to camp and he couldn't find it and went through everything he had and it just wasn't there, he had to hike back out to try to find his one tool for fire starting, because he no longer had the energy reserves at that point to even try to struggle with friction fire in the cold and in damp conditions. Well, needless to say, he tried, he looked, but he never found his ferro rod. So, despite the fact that Sean was doing really, really good on the show, he had to tap out on day 10, because you just cannot survive conditions like that with no fire, no way to cook, no way to heat, no way to purify water. You know, the list goes on and on. So Sean had to tap. Now, it's not like he had the option of a cigarette lighter to begin with, because that's against the rules of the show, okay? It has to be difficult. That's why you get a choice between a ferro rod or flint and steel kit. Now, I carry ferro rods with me. This is my big one. This is my bayite. And they are a great tool. I'm not saying do not take ferro rods. I'm not saying choose a lighter over a ferro rod. However, at the end of the day, a ferro rod provides spark, okay? Only spark, unless everything is just right. I have struggled for up to half an hour trying to get even an ember with a ferrocerium rod. If conditions aren't perfect, even this will fail you, okay? But this right here, This is fire, okay? This isn't spark, it's fire. Fire is always going to be better than simply sparks, because with this you may get fire, with this you have fire. That's not to say that a ferro rod should not be in your kit. It should. You should be proficient with how to use it. What I'm saying is Sean didn't have the option. However, you, my friend, you have the option. Always pair your ferro rod with a cigarette lighter. Take your lighter out. Now, if you don't want to use it, tuck it away somewhere, ignore it in your pack. Don't break it out unless you absolutely have to. I can see testing your metal and relying solely on a ferro rod, but at least you've got your backup, okay? You've got a guaranteed flame with a cigarette lighter, because if you're smart, you have more than one, okay? Cigarette lighters have been known to fail, especially cheap ones like this. Myself, I've taken a brand new lighter out of the package, went to strike it, and had the wheel pop out, the spring pops, and guess what goes? Your little tiny ferro rod in here, because that's what this is. A little bitty sliver of a ferro rod is what controls your butane lighter. That's what gives you the spark to ignite the gas. Now, I know there's a lot of pros for carrying a ferro rod because a lighter doesn't work when it's wet. You know what? It only takes a minute to dry a lighter out. 2 to 3 minutes tops, and it'll be working just the way it did before. Take anything cloth, especially something really absorbent like cotton, dry this little wheel off real good, and you'll be good to go. Set it out in the sun for just a minute. Hold it up in the air, in the breeze, and let the breeze dry the lighter, okay? But it will still work. If you can wait 2 or even 3 minutes, then you're golden. I don't care if your lighter got dropped in the water for 2 seconds or if it was down there for an hour. You're still going to be able to dry it out, still going to be able to use it. Okay, the other argument I hear all the time, lighters don't work when it's cold. That's true. In a way, lighters do work when it's cold as long as the lighter is warm. Because you see that fuel in there, okay? That's butane. If you know your stuff, you know that butane has a boiling point of 31 degrees Fahrenheit. As long as it's 31 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, butane will gas off because that is above its boiling point. However, I'd like to note that this flame is pretty good right now. When the temperature gets cold, when it's down in the 40s, I don't care if you have your lighter cranked all the way up, that flame is going to be way down here because it's not gassing off effectively at the lower temperature. So, cigarette lighters don't work in the cold. Well, that's why you don't keep the lighter in the cold, okay? A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Keep your lighter in an inside pocket, in your clothing, under your coat, something like that, so your body heat actually keeps the butane warm enough to gas off. Have your fire already built, everything ready for ignition. Pull your lighter out, light your tinder, put it right back in that inside pocket, zip your coat up, whatever you want to do, and keep that lighter warm. You'll never have to worry about it not working because it's cold. I've used lighters to make fires in 10 degree below zero weather. Just keep the lighter warm, okay? If the lighter happens to get cold, it's a simple matter to take your gloves off, put that lighter in your hands, rub vigorously. A little bit of friction on that lighter is going to warm your hands, it's going to warm the lighter and the butane inside. Just rub it down really, really good. Get a lot of friction, you'll feel it start to burn. You're going to get ignition, okay? So, wet or cold is not a reason to not carry a cigarette lighter. All right? Ferro rods have their use. They do. They have their purpose. They should always be in your kit. Without a doubt, they should always be in your kit. I carry several. Now, had Sean's ferro rod had something on it like this bright orange lanyard. This is my son's Ferro Rod. Came in a kit, we got him for Christmas, something like that. But it's got a bright orange lanyard, okay? So if Sean had dropped this on the trail, it would have been a simple matter of being like, right there it is. Oh, thank God. Now I can stay 90 more days and win this $1 million, okay? But that's not how it went, because it was not highly visible. Truth of the matter is, he probably walked right over the top of it, just never seen it. Because something this small, without this blaze orange on here, you drop that in any kind of a grass or leaf litter or anything like that, it's all but invisible in all reality, okay? So that's why when I carry cigarette lighters, I carry stuff like this. This is my Bic, it's blaze orange. Now, Ferro rods are worth thousands of strikes. Well, guess what? A Bic cigarette lighter is guaranteed for up to 3,000 strikes. That's what Bic says you can get out of the average lighter, is 3,000 strikes. Now, I've made a lot of fires with this lighter, okay? I bought this Bic in 2017. It's still going, and it's probably got a quarter of its fuel left. And as you can see, I've been carrying it for, since 2017 as well. But this is always in my kit because it's blaze orange. If I drop this, I'm easily going to spot it for the most part, unless it hits the ground and rolls under something or something like that. This is a color that you just do not see in nature. And if I drop this on a trail and I have to backtrack half a mile, oh, there's my lighter right there. That was close. Pick it up, put it in my pocket, on about my business, right? Now, also, if you're going to carry cheaper brand lighters, I suggest you do what I do, okay? All of these go in my kit for the reason I said that sometimes you'll grab one and you'll spark it and it'll fly apart on you. Once that happens, you have gas but no ignition, okay? So 2 is 1, 1 is none, half a dozen, significantly better. And yes, I do carry this many cigarette lighters, as well as this one, with me in my kit. Is it redundant? Yes, it is. Is it overkill? It can be. If I never use, any but this one, these are just extra stuff in my pack. But it's very, very good insurance in my pack. When it comes to me starting a fire, if one of these don't work, the other 5 will. All right? So, while Ferro Rod is great, you should not rely on it as your only one tool option. Sean did not have a choice. You, my friend, you have a choice. Now, if you want to be all masculine and manly and feel like you're at one with nature and all that kind of stuff, and you want to take your Ferro Rod out and use it exclusively, great. That's fine. There is nothing at all wrong with that. However, common sense, have lighters, not a lighter, lighters in your kit as a backup, because especially in cold weather conditions, you cannot afford to not have this insurance. Whether you want to feel manly or not and use it or not is completely up to you. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Don't forget, if you haven't yet, you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can reach down there and hit that subscription button. If you do, you can choose to ding the notification bell to get notified when I upload future videos. Questions, comments, hit me up. Drop those down below, guys. I thank you very much for watching, for your views and your support. And I will get it back to you as soon as I can with another video.